Hey guys, it's Lazy, and in today's video, I want to do a quick update number 3 before I take this character further into the endgame. Sorry it's been a few days, but I didn't really have time to record. But yeah, we're gonna talk about how to min-max your gear to like a certain extent, because I don't want to do too min-max, because the min-max version of this build I want to take into is the Strength Stacker. On this version of the build, we swap only a few things, trying to keep the minimum budgets, and I'm still using that 1 Chaos Piscator version 1 because I want to save the currency to kind of craft the strength stacking one. But yeah, in this version we have enough damage to clear all kind of contents in the endgame. Obviously it's still a bit squishy, you will probably die here and there, but overall with this much damage you are not going to struggle with any sort of content that needs to be farmed. If you haven't checked out the day 2 previous setups, make sure you check out at least the PoE. I went over a few things in there, and this is a more well-polished version of that. Still say on the budget side of thing, but the damage is really that much more impressive. In order to get more damage into the build, I squeeze in a bit more increase or like reduce skill effect durations, and we swap over to the court belt. I could have done this way earlier, but there wasn't any points in getting more increase or like more reduced skill effect duration, pardon me, because we didn't have like enough projectiles or attack speed to kind of match. Unless we want to drop like one of the ring or like one of the outlet, which I don't really see any good options. Rather than that, I'll just kind of wait for the swap. But yeah, we are able to swap to a court belt, and the best anointment you can get on the builds right now, at least for my setup, is Hasty Demise, which gives you increased cast speed, which get converted into attack speed and reduced skill effect durations. Now this means you don't need to get like 20% reduced skill effect duration on the amulet or the ring, because even with like 18 or 19, we weren't able to kind of cap the breakpoints, right? So you need to have a bunch of increased attack speed and cast speed, which you had converted to be able to kind of mess up the breakpoint. So yeah, you don't need like perfect roll on these. Just focus on getting really high increased attack and cast speed, because this 10% would help kind of resolve that. You kind of have to put this into the calculator for you to kind of understand it. But the gist of it is that try to balance between the reduced skill effect duration and attack cast speed, and also projectiles, in which we get ourselves a Dying Sun Ruby Flask. And this flask is really strong because doing effect, you get 2 additional projectiles, which means that we are putting all those reduced skill effect duration to work, because with these 2 additional projectiles, we are very close to min-maxing the breakpoints. Now, there's another items we add which give 2 additional projectiles, and that is the Rain of Splinter. This is a really good jewels, but yeah, it requires you to have enough reduced skill effect duration for you to fit more projectiles in. So once again, it will make more sense if you put this into the calculator. And don't worry, I'm not gonna leave you hanging, so I'm just gonna quickly explain how this works. So I'm just gonna go back to my day 2 setup here. We'll refresh this calculator, and we'll go to calculator. Go to Kinetic Fusillade here, and I'll show you the duration I had before. So it's 0.38. So this is the setups that I was running on my day 2. 8 projectiles in 6.34 attack speed. And you can put in this number to min-max it as well if you want to. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So for example, this is my previous setups. You can see here that we are almost min-maxing our attack speed. Hopefully it's not overlapping. Okay, so it doesn't. Yeah, so you can add like 6% increased attack speed to min-max, but otherwise, yeah. And then I'm just gonna go into my date or like update number 3 setups, where I have just 10 more reduced skill effect duration. So this number go to 0.28, and you see how much more we can fit in. So our attack speed also changed. We add a bit more, trying to min-max a lot more attack speed in there, and we'll see what happened. Right, so in this setup, like I have to add way more, like 80% increased attack speed. If I were just to add like a little bit of attack speed into the build, and then adding the 10% reduced skill effect durations, now that is not min-max. So by adding just 2 more projectiles, so 8 to 10 from the Rain of Splinter, we are able to get a lot closer to the min-max points and I can just need to add like 48% increased attack speed. She's also hard, so we just add Dying Sun in there. And now it looks a lot better at 17% increased attack speed to min max. Now, which brings me to my point earlier that even if I were to like min max the amulet and the ring and get like 3 more percent, which bring reduced skill fight duration to 0.25, I would like need to add like 61% increased attack speed, which doesn't really make sense, right? So it is really min max to be like even maybe 0.29. Yeah, so 0.29 is where you need it to be. So you have a little bit of leeway to go with your amulet and your ring in my setup. And yeah, this is how you min max it, just by adding projectiles and adding attack speed into the build. Make sure you always use this calculator. It is extremely useful. Hopefully it kind of makes sense here. Now, another thing we also did, which give us like roughly 30% more damage, is the combinations of Unnatural Instinct and the Light of Mining, which give increased lightning damage. In this setups, we had the Green Nightmare Jewels in here, and we like allocate Mage Bane to cap our suppressions. Since this is like a more expensive setups, we are running this setups, and then we swap over the Green Nightmare Jewels over here. Make sure you tattoo the cold resistant to get suppressions in here. And when you do all of this, and you have this body armor which gives 30%, it's gonna land you at exactly 99% spell damage suppression chance, in which you need to use the Ramacle Shaman's tattoo to get the last 2% chance to suppress spell damage. This one is quite expensive, but yeah, it is like roughly 2 divine, or almost 2 divines. I don't remember, but you need this one to be able to cap your suppressions. On top of that, we also had a gem imbued, which I go for Inspiration. Now, I don't know if this is like the best setups, but this Inspiration give you crit, so crit chance and crit damage, which is really good, and it also give you like more elemental damage. Now, another imbued like support gem you could get is like just elemental damage to attack, or I guess that's fine too. Like, I would go for Coin of Power on this, and hopefully you land on something useful. There's Inspirations and elemental damage to attack, and that's pretty much the 2 strongest one. Now, it's a bit annoying with Inspirations. I kind of hit this first, but yeah, you have to keep up your 5 stacks if you want to get all the bonus. And if you summon Totem too many times, it's gonna overlap and destroy the buff. So you just kind of have, like, when you are like trying to do big damage or like big burst damage, just keep in mind about the Inspiration charge. But yeah, the more totems you summon, it's gonna like overlap. But you are able to summon to 7 totems and keep up the Inspiration charge. So just make sure you kind of keep that in mind. Now, the last thing I kind of did was to get myself a +1 maximum number of summon totems. This is extremely easy to get, and I had a clip showcase here how I do this. Now, as it happens, the Geocraft is quite simple. All you need to do is get yourself a Shaper Exalted Orb. And the only Shaper mods that can roll on shields on the prefix is the +1. So all you need to do is buy yourself a shield with all the suffix fill and then an open prefix. And then if you use Shaper Exalted Orb, it's gonna slam on a prefix, which means you are guaranteed yourself to get a +1 summon totem shield. It is that easy. And that is pretty much all I have for the update to number 3. The next upgrade is probably going to be strength stacks, and it's gonna be a bit more expensive, but it's also scaled a lot better than this version. At this point, if you get to this PoE, you should be able to farm a lot of the endgame contents right now. And yeah, like I said, I had a blast playing this build. It is probably one of the strongest totem setups that I have played ever since Merklich. And that meant a lot, because Merklich we have the Doriani, which is really broken. And that is all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one.